Hi everyone, Angela here. To make each of these cushion covers, I'll be using upholstery fabric, a cushion insert, my large template, a ruler, a long invisible zipper, my Kai scissors, and some chalk. Measure your insert, and this will be the size that you cut out your fabric. There's no need to add seam allowance so that you have a nice tight fitting cover. I'm folding my fabric with right sides together and the outer edges lined up. It's hard to see, but there's actually a 1-inch wide selvage edge on this fabric, so I want to make sure that I mark it and cut it away. Then I draw out the rest of the fabric piece the same size as the insert, making sure everything is nice and square. Then place a weight down or pin all around to cut out the pieces. On the bottom of one of the pieces, mark 1.5 inches in from each corner. From your scraps, cut 2 pieces 1-inch square. Links for all the tools I use can be found in the description below. Now for the second cushion with the tighter corners, I've drawn a 16-inch square again, but this time I'm also going to draw lines from corner to corner. Then on the diagonal lines, mark 1 inch up from each corner. Then from those marks, draw lines 2.5 inches long to the edges on either side. At the bottom, make marks at the end of those lines for the zipper opening and then cut out. With the right side up, serge around each fabric piece. For the first cushion, match your pieces again with right sides together. If your fabric has texture or it's a directional fabric, make sure it's facing the right direction. If you need to, place pins through the marks on the bottom. We won't be stitching between these marks, leaving an opening for the zipper. We'll start the sewing from this bottom corner. Using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, back tack at the start and finish and pivot at all the corners. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, and also leave a comment below. To sew the invisible zipper, I'm going to switch to this one-sided foot. Again, we have an opening between the marks for the zipper. This is the right side of an invisible zipper. You only see the tape and the zipper pull. The right side of the zipper tape goes on to the right side of the fabric seam with the teeth facing you when you stitch it on. Make sure to use a zipper that's 1 inch or more longer than the length of the opening. Open up your zipper to separate the teeth, and then open up your seam to locate the start of the opening. Place the top of the zipper where the little plastic stopper is at the start of that opening. Place the presser foot on top of the zipper tape so that the needle is just to the right of the teeth. So when you're stitching and the needle's going in, it should be running along right beside the teeth here. You can roll the teeth a little so that it's pointing straight up and down, and you can stitch nice and close to the teeth. Also, if you need to, you can pin the zipper onto the fabric. Start with a back tack and just keep the edge of the zipper slightly in from the edge of the fabric. The width of the zipper tape isn't quite 1/2 inch wide. When you get close to the end of that opening, open up the seam and then make sure to place the edge of the teeth onto the center of that seam. Continue stitching and then back tack when you get to that seam. Turn the cushion cover around and then close up the zipper until the slider is about 1 inch from the opening. Bring the zipper teeth together and line it up so that the tape is nice and flat. Then pin the zipper tape to the seam right at the start of the opening to keep it in place. Open up the zipper a little bit and then stitch this side of the zipper just like you did the other side. When you get close to the end, you have to make sure those 2 plastic stoppers at the top match, and also to make sure that the zipper teeth are lined up with the center of the seam. Stitch to the end of the tape and back tack. For the second cushion, place the fabric pieces right sides together, and again, if you have texture or a print, to make sure that it's facing the right direction. Pin at the bottom 2 marks, And then stitch all around, leaving that opening for the zipper and pivoting at all 4 corners. With the diagonal line still there, it's easy to know when to pivot. Change to a one-sided foot and then install the zipper just like the first cushion. Once that's done, close the zipper up past the bottom opening. On the end of the zipper, measure down about 1 inch from the bottom of the stitching and stitch across the teeth. Then cut away the excess zipper tape. Now open up the zipper as far as it will go. Now take one of those small square pieces of fabric and fold it in half with wrong sides together. Then place that fold just under the bottom edge of the zipper slider. We want to stitch right beside the teeth through this piece of fabric, the zipper tape, and the seam of the cushion cover. Stitch back and forth a few times and then repeat on the other side. On the other end of the zipper, place the fold of the other piece of fabric right at the start of the opening, and again stitch on either side of the teeth. Shorten the zipper and add fabric tabs exactly the same way for the first cushion. To turn them right side out, open up the seams on both sides and then push right on the corner with your finger or thumb. To put in the insert, squish it in half and then push it into all the corners. The invisible zipper gives it a nice clean finish without having any top stitching or little flaps. So whether you like your corners pointy or slightly rounded, either way it's pretty quick and easy to make. Make sure to check out some of my other videos. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care and happy sewing.